who has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stopped the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scrape their knees. Now just imagine how they must feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calmed. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look? Abolish CPS.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPS.com is leading the way. Join us.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Let me get this off the screen and get us back to our normal screen. It is Friday night, and we are CPS Victims hunting for justice. Me and Carrie are taking over for Darren tonight to give him the night off. So you guys will have me and Carrie, and Danielle will be joining us, I do believe. Hey, Chris, how are you doing, honey? How's your mom? Hope the kids are doing all right. So as I said, you guys, we are giving Darren the night off tonight. Me and Carrie are running the show tonight. I'm just waiting for her to join me. She should be in momentarily. She does have the link. So with that said, we are going to get started. Don't forget that tomorrow night we have the CPS talk with Vinny. I'm probably going to be starting about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And we're going to go for a straight hour. I'm going to see about getting maybe some guests on the show tomorrow. I'm trying to work on getting a friend of mine to come on the show, but she's really, really busy in her lifestyle. And I was hoping that she would come on and kind of talk about her case. what's been going on with hers, because she has uncovered a lot of corruption, from guardian ad litems to the attorneys to courts, to CPS, and it goes even further than that. She's dug really deep. She got a file that she probably should never have gotten, and DHS is kind of kicking themselves in the ass here in Maine, because she is spreading word throughout, media posts, local news stations. She's putting it blatantly out there, for the public eye to see. Um, I have yet to been able to release my full-on story, due to circumstances, that have arisen. Um, but I will tell you that, I did find out today that we do have a case management hearing, regarding my youngest, Arasta. Um, so that's coming up rather quick. That's replacement with her aunt, kingship placement. So if you guys don't know what kingship placement is, it's when they place people with their family, um, and that kind of helps in a way because, um, having that family member take in your child while this is going on is crucial. Yes, CPS likes to dictate to them what they can and can't do, but that seems like it's going to be a big change here soon. In my case, I can't go into details why that is, but know this: there's going to be some big changes coming abroad, um, and I can't wait to, finally have things fixed and remedied a little bit. Um, there's a lot of stuff going on, moving parts, and I'm exposing a lot of stuff, within CPS, um, and my lawyers and my wife's lawyer are looking at it, going, "This is all made up, bogus bullshit that they got on you." They're trying to dredge up the past. I seen quite a few reports that were like over 10 years ago that they brought up. They're not supposed to be doing that in your case. They're not supposed to be bringing up anything past 10 years. Um, and this has been ongoing. So with that said, I got Carrie here with me. I think Darren's in the background. I don't know if he's going to join us. Carrie, how you doing tonight?
Fine, how are you?
I'm doing all right, Carrie. So,
Sorry, it's probably a little late, huh?
yeah, you're good. You're good. We're just getting started. So, I mean, not like we've been on that long. Um, so, Carrie, do you want to explain, a little bit about things going on with you, or
Yeah, is that our plan?
kind of?
All
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right, all right, that works. So my report was confirmed, but not placed on the child abuse registry. Um, and I am appealing it because it stays open for 5 years if I just leave it the way it is. Even though there's no recommendations going forward or no court involvement going forward, it still leaves an open case for 5 years. And I'm not okay with that. So,
I don't blame you. I wouldn't be okay with that either.
because it gives them just ammunition to remove with no reason, and all them horrible things. It's just tactics. That's all it is. It's
Yeah.
just a tactic to use against me. And everything in the report was false. She didn't report. I mean, the things she should have used against me, she didn't. She totally omitted them. The things that were in my favor, she definitely didn't put that in the report or anything that supported me. Nor did she do an investigation at all. And if she did, and that's how she was trained, that she's not a good investigator. Herbert definitely needs to be her trainer from now on because she does not know how to investigate anything.
Yeah,
So,
Herbert's pretty good at that.
yes.
So,
Mm.
I just want everyone to know, I got to see Carrie's, thing that she's typed up, her motion, and her appeal. And It is very rock solid. She has very great points. I kind of gave her a little incentive today with my own case and pointed out, she needed to look at the policies and procedures that they broke and put them in there. So I'm pretty sure Carrie added those policies and procedures that they broke in there.
Not yet, not quite yet, but I have it ready to put in there because it is a good idea to put that in there. But it's like 40 some pages, so I got to find the specific statement that I'm looking for. But definitely, I have it
you have
downloaded
to
and
pawn
ready to
through
go.
it.
Right.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
I
a
was
pain
looking
when
at
you have to pawn
Gunner's
through like
highlighted one.
40. Yeah. He's got a lot of stuff in there. And a lot of people don't realize that, Gunner has got some valuable information. And he does have a link. You guys can reach out to Gunner when you see him on the show, or you can ask for his email. But he has a document through Google. It's a Google Drive, and it has every information that you will need in any single case throughout the states.
By the
And it's
states. He has
compiled.
them organized.
Yep. And he's even got some
What's a
federal case
highlighted
law in
version?
there at the bottom. Yep.
Yeah, it's
So
very, very
Gunner
well
has
organized.
got his A game when it comes to CPS, DHS, and that's nationwide. So that might be something you guys might want to talk to Gunner about, or get with me, or get with Carrie, or get with Darren, and get that information, or reach out to Gunner yourself, because that information would be great.
Right. I absolutely agree because I looked for 5 minutes for that stinking policy today, and after you sent me that, it was right there. It was exactly the one I was looking up. So it was definitely
That's a good
helpful.
thing then. So I was like kind of right on the ball when I told you then.
Yep. Yeah, you
But
just didn't know it
I
was the
did.
exact policy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I did hear back from my attorney in the CPS case. I got the confirmation of the case management meeting. But he is going to be on the phone with me tomorrow. He's in the office on Saturdays. An attorney that actually is in the office on a Saturday.
That's awesome. That's a real
So
attorney.
yeah, he's pretty dedicated to doing what he's been doing. And he explained a couple things in the email that we're going to be doing. So it's looking promising.
That's awesome. So awesome. It's crazy the struggle you go through, and then all of a sudden things just start looking up. You start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You start getting hope
Yep.
again, which is awesome. Definitely deserved. It's definitely worth the struggle.
Yeah.
Did you see Miss
Yeah.
Clearwater's in here? And you were just asking about her last night.
Well, hello, Miss Clearwater. It's good to finally see you again. How are you doing?
Absolutely.
Has anyone heard from Durham? Because I'm kind of wondering how he's doing. I know the UK over there is pretty rugged and tough over there with courts, and you guys getting on here and talking about stuff. And I was wondering what happened to him because we haven't seen him in a long time. I think Darren is going to join us. He said he was going to be a minute or so, I think.
I knew he wasn't going to take a real break. He never listens.
Yeah.
Especially
We all know Darren. He can never take a break at doing this kind of stuff because this is who he is.
I know, but God, he deserves a break. It does get
we all
tiring.
know. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, especially when you're pawing through paperwork all day, or you're reading stuff, and yeah, I got a slight migraine, but I'm lucky enough that I have naproxen, and that's one thing that I can take that kills my migraines instantaneously.
Well, I have this little guy called Headache all himself. That's his new nickname. He's in the living room right now. He's got the cover off the fan, okay, and he's got styrofoam. He's done shredded it into little pieces, and he's throwing it up above the fan, so the fan's blowing it all over. And he's right between the living room and the kitchen. You guys, it's
Mom,
snowing in my house.
Mommy's making
Absolutely
his
snowing.
own glitter party.
Oh my gosh. If that was only what it was. I could live with that.
You're
Definitely.
gonna have a
That's why I
nice
was
mess
a
in
little
your
late.
house by the time he's done.
Earlier, I made him clean it up, and I only let him do it so I could clean up his couch. So I could vacuum his couch and clean up around, the trash and things like that. And from just a day ago, and so I just wanted him to be content and out of my way because he was mad. I had to move his dinosaurs, and it was a nightmare. It was a whole fight. But anyway, so I let him do it, and then I made him clean it up with the shop vac. And now he's like,
Yeah.
put that shop vac away. I don't want that. It's snowing in the house. It's just gonna snow. It's great.
So we actually were trying to get me and Carrie were talking. She watches this lady who's very interesting. We were trying to get it so we could, have it on the show, but I don't have that kind of functionality of how to add things in like Darren does. He's the genius behind that. So I mean, if Carrie wants to play it so you guys can hear it, I'm fine with that. I think that
I
you
think you
guys
guys
need
should
to
hear
hear what this lady.
therapist. Yeah, the
Yeah.
therapist.
Yeah.
She talks about
So if
how
you want to
this.
do that, Carrie.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. She talks about this lady. Her name is Miriam Zayas. I hope I'm saying it right. And she had a TPR. She's had 5 children removed. One recently passed away from an OD at 19 after she moved him out of her house because she was told to by DHS or CPS. And anyway, it was a whole nightmare. And she's got PTSD from dealing so many years and with so many children being removed from her. And this therapist confirms that and does it in such a way that explains every one of us and what we go through and the struggle that we have afterwards forever. Gosh darn it. Sorry, I tried to do it from my history and I'm going through all Colton's history.
Yeah.
Let's do it this way.
I don't know what happened to Danielle. She kind of disappeared.
Oh, she was here? She was on time, you mean?
She was trying to do it. Yeah. Oh, it looks like Darren's getting ready to join us too.
Oh, Darren, take a break. Go away. Sorry, I meant to have it. I really did.
That's all right.
I can't stray for that far. Do you hear me?
Yep.
I coming through okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
Right,
I don't know what's going on with the. Let me fix this here. I'll try to get it fixed here.
What are we gonna watch?
Oh, how do I do that, Darren?
What are you trying to vote?
I'm trying to get it so it lines us up. It's not doing it though. I don't
and
know
what
why.
the therapist said about getting PTSD from CPS.
Oh yeah, where is it on? Is it on YouTube or something?
Yep, I'm getting it right now. I thought I could just go to my history, but Colton's got a whole history full.
Yeah, be careful about
Since
what
I
his
looked it up
history
just
is.
2 hours ago. Yes, it can be dangerous. Mostly marbles lately. People making marble runs.
Did you guys see this today? Check this out.
Very annoying.
Let's see. Where is it?
Sounds like the missus is home.
Is it this one? Check this out.
He is.
You should never tell him if he doesn't. Because just hearing you explain it makes my stomach turn. That's what you do for a living? That's what you do for a living? Remove babies that were just born from the custody of their mother. How could she have abused the baby? If she hasn't even left the hospital, you must have serious mental issues to do that for a living. Do you have a boyfriend? Does he know what you do for a living? You should never tell him if he doesn't. Because just hearing you explain it makes my stomach turn. Basically, while you are at work, you kidnap newborn babies straight from their mother's womb. Wow.
That's what you do for a living? Remove babies that were just born from the custody of their mother. How could she have abused the baby if she hasn't even left the hospital? You must have serious mental issues to do that for a living. Do you have a girlfriend? Does she know what you do for a living? You should never tell her if she doesn't. Basically, while you were at work, you kidnap newborn babies straight from their mother's womb.
That's what you do for a living? Remove.
Isn't that pretty funny?
That's interesting.
Well, yeah, but no.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was fake. But it was, I thought it'd be a laugh.
Pretty real.
Does not serve as an advertisement or endorsement of any product.
What,
That's what. Never mind. I
I
was
feel
gonna
like
make
I
a
haven't been
comment
here
about the other
forever.
night. You should play that for them.
Yeah, I
Been
know,
one
right?
day, Darren.
I don't know what's up. Maybe you can figure out the boxes
Okay.
there, and I don't know what's up with that.
Okay.
I tried to fix them, but
Okay,
I
right
was
here.
having no luck.
All right. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Oh, there we go. What's the other stuff? Something I can't see.
All right, this is the therapist that we're talking.
Okay.
See, my spoiled child. And I've got a haircut.
Vinny, look at your face. Pull your shit together. It's like vacation day here.
No, it's dinner time.
Yeah, you have to wait until I
Are
got
we
home.
are we watching the video? What are we doing here?
We're listening
I
to it
think
because
he's trying to
there's no
play.
video really to watch. Yeah, can you hear it?
Oh, the audio's on here already. It's playing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hear it.
You can't hear it? All right.
Nope.
Negative.
Okay, 1 second. How about now?
I mean, you can hear a little bit of the thing.
We're watching something of Darren's over there, I think. Still
Darren's
can't hear
trying
it.
to
It's not loud enough.
I just paused it. I'm sending it to Darren. He's a tech guy.
He's the master of doing all that.
Oh yeah, maybe it was paper, huh? Oh, Mary took it out of here. Hey.
Don't mind me, guys. I'm having my dinner. I had to wait for the missus to get home with it.
All right, so Exhibit 301 is
Where'd Darren go?
the 1977
I don't know.
version of RCW.
All right, I sent him the link, and it's 8:38. The timestamp on it, where to start it.
Any objections?
So the background about this that we're going to listen to is it's a therapist testifying on behalf of the mother at a termination hearing, and CPS has induced P onto this mother and what she goes through every day with anxiety and just the like flashbacks. She's scared to answer the door. She's scared to go out in public. She's doesn't want to answer her phone. Like she wants to avoid all of it, but yet she's trying to cope with it and process it and be normal. And yet it's the struggle that she's going through, and it is brought on by CPS. And the therapist is telling the CPS lawyer as she's testifying in the trial, the TPR hearing.
Now, did she
But it's awesome
win
because she
her
tells the
TPR
lawyer
or
to.
no?
No, she did not. The judge ended up ruling that that therapist did not have qualifications, which she did. She actually works for the crisis team for CPS, like the after hours crisis team, for years. She did.
But she did
Until she's seen the corruption.
But she wasn't qualified.
Right.
That's because she was
But she was
young
qualified to do
CPS.
that then. The 838 is
but
the timestamp.
she didn't qualify.
They said that here, this lady's got a master's and everything in psychology, and they said pretty much it's because it wasn't a CPS referred service. She sought it out on her own and really clicked with this lady, and this lady helped her a lot, and she made a lot of progress with her. But because of that, they shut it down, and they said that she was the way that she acts in her lawsuits against the judges and the workers was what I called earlier, Vinny. Oh, they just said that she was like bipolar episodes and like it was just not good normal behavior at all, is what they claimed, the judge did. And erratic behavior and her lashing out like she wasn't supposed to be emotional, just the normal things that they tell every one of us is what they stuck with.
They're the ones that cause the emotion.
Right. And this therapist tells them just how it is, and she does it beautifully. And I think she does. I think she did a really good job how she said it, but they just totally knocked it down.
And that's sad that, these courts are getting away with doing that.
Right.
And that's where our constitutional rights are supposed to come in, and they're not even coming in, especially in these lower courts. You got to be anywhere from Supreme Court to federal court to be able to have your constitutional rights heard.
Right. Well, I think it's even crazy, like in my findings report, how just inaccurate and false everything is. I mean, it's just a freaking investigation report. I mean, like 6 pages. You can't even keep it correct for that, And it just blows me away. You can't even label a school official right. You can't, This is totally insane why it's like that. And how they
Good evening, Mr.
think they can get away with it.
Hey guys, how you doing? Guess where I'm at?
The supermarket?
Who'd you
I'm
meet?
in the supermarket. Yay! Hey Ryan, how you doing? Say hello to everybody. Yeah, you want to say nobody? Okay. He's busy.
Like, I'm going the other way.
Yeah, I'm in the apple and fruit section.
I think you should head to the alcohol section
tonight
and start there.
No, the apple. I was in the apple. You want me to go to the alcohol section? I can go there. I'm in the fruit section.
I was just teasing her.
He's like, Carrie, hey Carrie, how you doing, girl? Oh, just for you. Hey, listen, just for you, I'm going into the alcohol section. Tell me what the prices are like. I'm just curious to see if they up the prices in where you guys are at than the prices out here on certain items.
I can't remember the last time I bought alcohol. I haven't bought alcohol in years.
What was the last thing you purchased?
Chiladas.
Do you remember?
Chiladas. Yep, Budweiser Chiladas.
Chiladas. Oh, beer. Budweiser. Oh.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Here's the Bud section.
Budweiser.
This is the Bud section. So, I see Coors.
Only the red ones. Yep.
I'm seeing.
Back over to the right.
I'm seeing. Go over to the right.
Yep.
Let's see.
Right by the blue.
Am I there?
See where they hide the red right next to
Am I
Yep. And right there. Oh, up this top shelf.
Right here.
Yep, right there. See Chiladas? CHELDA.
I don't see it. I don't see it. Maybe you see it. I don't see it. I don't know why. I don't see it. Anyway,
There's tall boys in
18 cans. 18 cans of Bud Light's 1097 for 18
Yeah, that's
cans.
probably pretty cheap.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's probably
1097. And then they got the other one here that's like, Jesus, it's 30 cans for 22.99.
That's not a bad deal. It's real beer. Budweiser's the only way to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I'm
then
never
you
on
can
a
see,
diet.
I'm in a section where there's just, yeah, there's just bottles and bottles of wine. And here goes old Jack. Good old Jack. You see?
Look, nobody's in that aisle. I can't
And,
believe it.
no, this is normal. Yeah. I mean, I'm
Not where I
probably,
live. It's
there's
not
probably
normal.
only about 10 people. Only about 10
Almost
people in the
looks like
store.
almost looks like a Hannaford.
Yeah. It's about 10 people in the store, maybe. I don't know. Hey, let's hit somebody. Let me see if I hit somebody up here. Let's see if I can hit somebody up. Oh, let's see. Yeah, this young lady. Hey, hello. How are you? Hi. Have you ever heard of CPS? CPS. Have you ever heard of CPS?
No.
No? Do you know what it stands for?
No.
Oh, okay. How about her? Hi. Do you have any idea about CPS? What does CPS stand for? I'm doing a show. CPS. You ever heard of CPS? CPS.
That's the
Child Protective Services.
Child Protector Service?
Yeah, Child Protective Services.
What about them?
Well, do you know anything about them? Nothing?
Not at all.
Oh, okay. I just.
That's about it. I feel like that.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. There you go, guys.
Definitely needs to hire, Vinny.
Hey, Vinny, here's your baby. Check this
Yeah.
out. Check this out, Vinny. Here we go. How you like this?
I don't drink, so I don't know.
Oh, you don't drink? Oh, okay. Okay.
It's funny after
They
30 you
got
get
all
over
kinds.
that, huh?
I've been sober for over 4 years. I think
Oh,
I've
is
done
that
pretty
right?
good.
You know what's the slap? You know what's the real kicker? The real kicker is these bottles. I could grab one right now and walk out the store, and nobody will stop me. I could just take a bottle and walk out to my car, and nobody will stop me.
What if you had a whole cart full of meat? Would they let you do that too?
I
Walk
could
out with
take
it?
a cart full of meat. I tell you what, I could fill my basket with
Oh, no.
food and walk out with a basket of food, and they won't even stop me.
Food's so expensive, that's worth the
Is that,
felony right there.
isn't that
You know?
wild?
Yeah.
What I'm saying, isn't that wild?
Yeah. We lost Darren. I don't know where he went, but lost him.
Oh, Darren's gone.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you're on, Carrie.
So you want me to just do that? We can do my appeal. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna show you guys what things were.
Herbert, I'm gonna let Carrie read her appeal that she's been working on.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
So I'm gonna
I
mute.
just happened.
I'm gonna mute us so that way Carrie can
Yes.
read her appeal.
Okay. Well, don't mute me. I'm gonna mute myself because I'm gonna have a question. So.
All right. So I'm gonna read you guys the findings first, like the technical statement of it, and then I will read you my appeal. Let's see. I think I figured it out, Vinny. How to share it. Here we go. Window. This one right here. It is loading, and all right. You guys see a screen that's loading? maybe you have to share it for me.
Nope, no, hold on. I gotta put you on screen.
There we go.
Perfect.
We did it. You got it. Perfect. All right, just give it a second. Remember, I live in the country. Sometimes things are slow. But I can start reading it. So it says that. Oh, stupid dogs. Of course they start barking right now. All right, request for correction. So it is confirmed means that more than half of the available evidence shows that abuse occurred, but does not meet the criteria for placement on the Central Abuse Registry. The abuse assessment summary is retained for 5 years from the date of the intake, or 5 years from the date of the closure of the service record, whichever occurs later, which means it'll be open for 5 years. And okay, now, so pretty much, like I said, throughout the whole thing, there's nothing but lies, inaccurate, false statements completely. And she just did not do a very good job. People offered for her to interview and to double check my statements too. She completely disregarded any of them suggestions. Okay, so here's my appeal. The investigator, Aaron Trample, documented statements for me, my significant other, parentheses, who, though not Colton's biological father, as she stated on the report, nor is he on his birth certificate, but he has been a father figure since his birth. And a school official, the official referred to as a student advocate, is actually the associate principal. This misidentification is minor, but it contributes to a broader pattern of inaccuracies and falsehoods that undermine I can't say that word, sorry.
Validity.
Pretty much of the findings. Thank you very much. During my interview with Erin, I made efforts to ensure that she accurately captured my statements by clarifying and repeating them as needed. Like when she was taking notes, I would pause, I'd wait, make sure she got it, blah, blah, blah. Yet the final report fails to reflect our conversation accurately. Statements attributed to me are misrepresented and omitted critical context I provided. For example, oh, shit. Oh my gosh, sorry. I went one too many pages. All right. Gosh. I'm computer illiterate right now. Colton's action on the day in question reflected his reluctance to go to school, an issue that has been ongoing. I noted to the investigator I'd never, ever, in the 7 years he's been attending school, been late getting him onto the bus in the mornings. He slept in or whatever. A fact that the bus department from the school, who normally was his transportation, could verify. Despite my statement, Aaron reported that we claimed Colton. See, Vinny, I knew this was wrong. You guys, Vinny, do a very good job proofreading. This paragraph is all messed up. But anyway, you'll get the point. Aaron reported that we claimed that Colton had elopement behaviors. And when I looked up the definition, because I had to, because I didn't understand what she was talking about, elopement means leaving somewhere without permission, like wandering off. I never once said that to her. That because actually Colton stays in our yard all the time. If he wants to go to the park that connects to our yard, the city park, he'll come get me and tell me, park. And he always takes a dog with him too. And neither one of us said that anything about him wandering off or whatever. We both actually said he's good, always has been, about staying in our yard. We have a big yard. He loves it. Lots of trees, blah, blah, blah. And she represented differently, exactly the opposite. Additionally, we both clarified that Colton's service dog was with him in our yard when the bus arrived. So the entire time that he was outside letting me sleep, the service dog was with him. She didn't even put one mention about that at all. And I also said that Colton climbed to the top of the RV when he seen the bus coming up the road to avoid being put on the bus. And when he was asked to get down from the RV, he complied immediately when his para asked him to. The para says different. I have video showing that he did get down. Also, Colton had unplugged our Alexa device and took my cell phone outside with him. Both devices are my alarms. He knew I would remain asleep. He closed the door quietly, which he never does. He always slams the door in or out. And in the report, Aaron, the investigator, expressed that Colton was 10 years old and that he needs 24-hour supervision, that my 7 security cameras throughout my yard that cover our whole yard and the street and our neighbors' yards and a service dog are not a substitute for me, nor are they a temporary substitute for me to monitor him by. I would agree with this if a professional with justified reasoning claimed that be monitored by my 7 cameras that have two-way talking capabilities and enough cameras to cover entire property and the street and the neighbors' yards, just in case he might decide to wander. And I also stated that about the park, that he doesn't go over there. He asked. I said, so what am I supposed to do when I need to use the restroom, get him something to drink, or maybe there's a toy inside he wants, or whatever the case may be. Or maybe he messed and I need to go to towel. Why is it not good enough? Before I got the cameras, I discussed things like this with his doctors and how he has meltdowns when I ask him to come inside with me. They're the ones that suggested the cameras. It wasn't my idea. His autism doctor actually suggested them. So, and I told the investigator that, and she didn't even talk to him. All right. And
so she ignored that fact.
Yeah. I mean, these are things that I researched, I sought out advice to all the right people, professionals, and that's what they told me to do. It's the only reason I got the cameras. Because we spent like $300 on them. The first set, and then I got smarter about buying them. Anyway, so the admits critical information about why Colton has been increasing reluctancy to go to school. The school recently made significant changes to his routine, which were implemented without notice to us, the parents. Specifically, on the Friday before this incident, which happened on a Monday, Colton was isolated into his own classroom, separated from the special ed classroom where he'd been thriving. He was now in a classroom all to himself with his name on the outside of the door, advertising his isolation to the entire school. So, and his device has been broken since the first week of school, his communication device. So this was his way of communicating to me that he didn't want to go to school, that something was different, and I needed to figure out what it was. So, and also he was been removed from PE and recess, his 2 only reasons for going to school. It's how we bribe him to go, is we tell him it's a PEA or, recess, blah, blah. And the only thing that they made me aware of was placing him with 2 paras, which are his aides that are with him all day. And usually he only has 1. They told me they were going to change it to 2, and that's it. That's the only change that they notified me about. They didn't tell me about the classroom at all. So, additionally, Colton's, the communication device, I already said that. And his meltdowns and his self-injury behaviors, which they call SIBs, had increased significantly. Yet the school officials continued to make changes to his routine, seemingly without even understanding the impact that all these changes were having on him, that was the reasoning for his behaviors. For an autistic child, consistency and routine are essential. The school's actions, shortening his school day, changing his transportation after 4 years with the same driver, same bus, same routine, same time, isolating him without explanation, and failing to communicate these changes to us, the parents, have created unnecessary confusion and stress for both Colton and our family. Next section, investigators' lack of responsiveness. After our interview, Erin did not provide me her contact information or business card. Even though that she had requested, I sent her a copy of Colton's most recent IEP and video footage from our security camera. While she later reached out by text 5 days later, I responded immediately, but was unable to send her the materials after being busy, and I just ultimately forgot about doing it. I didn't think it was that important, really, at 5 days later. So, and then Aaron met with Ms. Larson, who offered to provide her also with a copy of the IEP. She didn't want it. She declined. And she was also at the school doing the interview with him 5 minutes before our scheduled IEP meeting. And he told her that she could attend it, and she left right before we got there. So she had an opportunity to get the full picture of Colton and didn't take it whatsoever. I feel the investigator was able to discover the changes that happened to Colton the Friday before the alleged incident that I'm being investigated for. And she didn't report it to us, even let us know, even after considering the policies from DHS is to be fully transparent throughout an investigation with the parents. And she did none of the above. Instead, all the known changes were disclosed to her and were disregarded as if they were not significant, nor had any part of what happened, what occurred. Right. So, let's see. Even the simplest change to an autistic. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it sounds like she was trying to make it sound like you were an unfit parent in most of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And not even, this lady couldn't even think of any services to recommend us. She sat here rubbing her chin, really thinking, really putting a lot of thought into it. And I told her, I said, listen, I look resources for people all day long. And I know how to find them. I said, I'm open for suggestions. If you got something new I've never heard of, I'll listen. I'm not going to sign any of your paperwork, but it might be something I look into on my own. She couldn't think of one thing, not one service to offer us that we weren't already doing through the school that would be beneficial to us, because there's none around here. There's none, and I live right by Des Moines, and there's none, in all the little towns around Iowa there are, but not in Des Moines there isn't. There's hardly anything available. And she thought for sure she could come up with one thing, and she couldn't even come up with one. So it's not that I declined to do them completely. I just said I wasn't signing any paperwork. I was open to hear her suggestions. But in the report, she states that I absolutely refused to comply with any recommendations that she had. She didn't have no recommendations. So she completely lied there. And we also showed her the ladder that Colton had climbed up that's attached to the RV, like every other RV has. And he had that RV's been in our driveway, probably 5 years now, since our house burnt down, because we lived in that while we rebuilt. And that's the first time he's ever climbed there, was the Friday before, after school. So it's like he was figuring out what his actions were going to be for Friday. I thought he was only getting up there to get the leaves off the trees that hang over it. But I really think he was planning it out on how he was going to avoid going to school Monday. Is what I believe now.
He is a smart kid.
Yeah, he is. And he's very strategic and definitely plans things out. So now I know why he did everything he did that day. All of his behaviors were totally different. Taking my phone out, that's not something he usually does. Like I said, he always slams the door when he walks out. And I sleep right in the living room, so I hear it. And he didn't do that day. He was very quiet when he left. And plus, I was exhausted, completely exhausted from this new schedule. It not only affects him, it affects me too. All right. So I did state that about her and the services, how she just blatantly just lied about it. And then my conclusion, here's the kicker. Here's where my emotion got in it, and I can't keep my emotion out of it. I've tried. You guys, this is the third one I've written, and I can't keep emotion out. All right. So given the substantial inaccuracies and omissions in the report, I'm requesting a review and reconsideration of the findings. The school's mishandling of Colton's placement and routine, compounded by DHS's failure to investigate thoroughly, has resulted in a report that unfairly misrepresents our family circumstances. These findings infringe upon my constitutional rights as a parent and undermine my ability to care for Colton effectively. The stress of an open case for 5 years brings out unnecessary fears of my son being removed from the only home he knows without notice, based on a confirmed finding that's determined on false statements, inaccurate reporting, and omitting important facts that were provided to the investigator. Being based on preponderance of the evidence, by definition, is little evidence. When a mountain of evidence was available and provided, yet omitted from this report, leaving false, misleading statements to come to a false, inaccurate, confirmed finding. This seemed insignificant to most, and if we are doing nothing wrong, we shouldn't worry about when this report has proven just opposite of that. It has proven it doesn't matter to an investigator of DHS at all. What is actually stated within the report is determined by what the investigator, for whatever reason, wants to report, with false statements, misleading, mislabeling officials she interviewed, not taking advantage of the resources suggested to her, and availability to complete a full investigation with more than preponderance of the evidence. Ignore DHS policies that are mandatory per her employment, and yet the only way to bring that to anyone's attention is to appeal this finding. The disregard of my son's disabilities and the impact this has on him is surreal when considering the sole purpose of a DHS investigation is to ensure the well-being and best interest of that child. Through our own investigation that has only been slowed by this false investigation, prolonged any resolution that could have been reached with the school, implementing changes, and now can only be undone at a very slow pace, impacting my son more than words can express. School officials, the principal, associated principal, the school resource police officer, and her sergeant, the Warren County Sheriff's Office, special education teacher, and the para, who all interact with our family and son daily, are all mandatory and did not feel this incident that has never happened in Colton's life before met the requirements of being a mandatory reporter to call DHS themselves. Only the manipulating, caught being inappropriate by our cameras, new bus driver who was constantly late, made awkward conversation every day with a nonverbal child, had to stop in one trip over 6 times to resecure our son in a seatbelt, and was also terminated by the interviewed school associate principal after 2 days of talking horrible about my son's mom in his presence, hoping school officials would engage in the talk. And instead, he ignored their request to cease it, the bad talk of me in front of Colton, and terminated his services of transporting our son, and went through a week of struggling through transporting Colton to and from school for a week until the district bus transportation could take over. They actually did go through hell. I will give them that much credit. And they did that to stop the impact having on Colton. Because when he would get to school, he'd get right off the bus because he didn't like that guy. But then he'd have a horrible day. Like he'd be really quiet all day. He wouldn't talk, wouldn't interact, wouldn't comply. He'd just sit there. So that's the end of it. That's where I ended it.
I mean, you got one hell of a start to that. You do got to go back and edit that one area
For the policy, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Darren, what did you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't like the way that he's treated, period. I don't like that. I don't like any of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you think I did a
I
good
mean,
job
they
of
all
bringing
know.
it out?
Say that again.
I'm not good with words. So I mean, be completely honest. Do you think I did a good
Yeah, but
job
you
in
know how
bringing
to
it
work
out?
them and
Like,
that they're words. I'm on the air,
right?
Sorry about that. Oh,
You're
Spanny's
fine.
back.
Yeah. So who's Spanny? Because she was asking
So
who I was.
Spanny is legend. Spanny is legend. Yeah, Spanny. Tiff and I's show is on. Which Spanny's going to be joining us on the Tiff and the Punisher show. At
Awesome.
that's what I've heard anyway. I don't know if there's any confirmations of that, but Spanny is she's as good as it gets, man. She's hardcore. She's been in the movement for quite a few years. She lives in Alaska, but she's got a ton of knowledge. She's just been ill lately. She had not ill, like ill, but she had surgery or something like that. So she's been out, getting herself better and everything because she has quite a task of just living in Alaska, let alone trying to get through this stuff. So she raises dogs and things like that too. So she's had quite a daunting task to get herself back to better. But the word on the street is that she's back and ready to fight. But I don't know, Spandy, you want to come on here for a second and talk about tonight's been kind of a slow show, but you want to come on and talk about your cause and what you're doing?
Your expertise.
She said she is going to join you in. She said she is joining you and Tiff. So.
Yeah, no, well, Spanny and Tiff have been partners for a long time. They're the Wicked Warriors. They're the Wicked Warriors. They're the ones that do all of that stuff, and I mean they've been a
Spanny's
driving force in this movement. Yeah, Spanny's and I've made the Spanny cut. There's a lot of people that have come through Spanny and left Spanny, and if she doesn't take any bullshit, like she doesn't like it, she doesn't like the drama that goes along with this stuff. She just wants to find these freaking kids that are being stolen from their parents and get them returned home. And that's her
Right.
drive. That's all she cares about. She don't care about, and what she doesn't like are people that are sitting here trying to profitize off of those profitize from those that are unfortunate. Is like, listen, you have to make money doing this stuff. I understand that. If you're doing this stuff as a full-time system, then yeah, you know what? You've got to make a buck or two because this stuff isn't free. Like I'm getting ready to put out a call for funding right now. It's to pay for a certain thing that I use, a certain program that I use right now. It's $300 available on Black Friday. It's a program that I usually pay $1,500 for a year for, but if I can get it for Black Friday, it's $300. So I'm not short of putting out a calling saying like, look, can everybody help raise some money for to help me raise this money to pay for this program, so I don't have to pay $1,500. I don't have to pay $150 a month for this stuff. So, but that's fine. But when you're starting to really just unload on people and trying to profit from their misfortune and everything, that's a whole different guideline. So she loves to call out the fraudulent ones and the ones that aren't the ones that are doing this for profiteering. So that's Spanny, but she loves more than anything to get kids back into their homes. Herbert, what do you got, buddy? You're out of volume here. Whoa. Herbert, it's not that type of show.
Keep us out of your pockets.
Camera up, bud. Yeah.
We can't hear you.
You're muted.
You're still muted.
Yeah, they can't.
There you go.
Okay.
There you are, Herbert.
Okay. I was just talking to this young lady right here. Can you see her?
All right.
Yep.
She's Scottish. She's Scottish and Irish. And I was just and she doesn't look Scottish, but she's Scottish and Irish. You can see yourself, right?
Yeah, in the middle.
Yeah, you're right there in the middle. And I was asking her questions about CPS, and she doesn't know anything about it. She has no idea. So I just thought, I muted myself because I don't want you to hear me talking. I'm a mute now. I'm a mute again.
Put her back on. Can you put her back on for a second?
Okay. What do you
Put it
want to
back
say?
on.
Okay,
Let's
here's the
just put it.
problem.
See if you
I
can,
have
yes,
a
see if you
bud.
can put it back on.
She is okay. First of all, she doesn't have any siblings. She's doesn't know anything about CPS.
Right. So put it back on.
Um,
Put it back on.
but the other
What's
thing
up?
too is that I have a bud in my ear. So in order to put it back on, I got to get off the show and get back on again.
Why can't you just push speaker button?
If I push the bud, it doesn't put you on speakerphone. So I'm pushing it now. So
So
are you on
go back.
speakerphone?
Is she right there with you? Is she right there? You can tell her the questions.
Okay.
Did she go away?
What's the question? Huh? They have a
Right.
question for you.
Well,
What's the question?
all right. So ask her if she knows how many children are taken in the United States per minute. She looks like
Okay.
she's running from you,
She's
Herbert.
helping. She's helping a customer right now. She'll be back in
Oh,
a
okay.
second.
Okay. So you need to ask her this:
Yes,
how many
Yeah,
children? So you need to ask her this: how many children in the United States are taken
How
into
many
CPS
how many
custody?
children in the
Okay.
United States do you think are taken in custody in the United States into Child Protective Services?
If I had to guess,
every
Yes.
day.
hundreds of thousands,
Hundreds of thousands?
maybe
He's
Child a minute.
several hundred thousand.
She says hundreds of thousands.
Are we talking annually?
Right.
Yeah.
A
Several.
child a minute.
She thinks hundreds of thousands per minute.
Right.
I mean,
So
per
tell her
minute
the answer to
or
that
per
is a child a minute.
she says annually.
Probably
Right. So
She
tell
says
her,
probably.
right.
Yeah.
Tell her it's a
hundreds of
child
thousands
per minute.
annually.
It's a child per minute
Oh,
that's taken
one
away from
child per minute.
parents and stolen into CPS system. Yeah.
I'm gonna help him.
Okay. Okay, she had to
Ask
walk away
her.
then.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all right. She's busy. But yeah, see, we need to start educating these people. Did you tell her? Make sure she knows that
So,
if CPS ever
yeah,
comes to
find
her,
my
oh,
food.
Spanny's here. Sweet.
Please touch finish and
Make
pay.
sure she
Spanny.
knows, Herbert. Don't ever let CPS come into the door. But Spanny's here.
Yay,
All
Spanny.
right, Spanny, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing better. I'm like 2 weeks out of surgery now, so
Oh,
but yeah,
just
I've
enough
been
time to.
having a little bit of a tough time.
Right. Well, I mean, it was your leg too, correct?
Bananas, yeah.
Yeah, I had meniscus surgery, the cartilage in my knee.
Oh, that's so
Ooh,
hard.
So
that's
That's such
rough.
a
and
tough
before
thing.
that I was hit by a car while I was
Oh,
walking literally in my driveway. One of my people that don't like me very much.
Oh my
oh,
gosh.
was it really a
So
targeted? Was it a targeted thing?
yeah,
Oh wow! Holy shit! No wonder you need a
it was.
security
We're still
clearance.
good. Yeah.
Hold on,
See,
hold
this
on one
is
second,
dangerous
Spanny. Herbert's got another one here.
business.
Well, we're doing a question and answer here at
Darren, we were talking about making him
join us
a.
here. What do you think?
No, it's look. You
Yeah, hold on. You got her? Do you got her,
The
Herbert?
mystery
Herbert's
person.
out. So Spanny, check this out. Herbert's in a grocery store right now, and he's trying to grab people and
Yeah.
ask them questions about CPS. What question do you
Cool.
See
think?
what their
What's the
knowledge
hook
is.
question that he could ask right now about if you were asking someone completely random to try to get their attention on CPS?
Do you think what they do is legal?
Oh yeah, good one. That's a good one.
Hmm.
Yeah, Herbert. Ask them
So
if
Darren, we need
they
to
think that it
create
should
him
be. If it,
something to hand out to people, like informing them about CPS when he does this, because he just walks away, and half the time they're all just sitting there with their jaws on the floor. So if he handed him something
yeah,
and
it
made
would
more people
probably go
aware,
better.
of what
It would
really.
probably go better if you. You're right. It would go better if you had an identifying card or something.
Right.
Not
But
that pocket.
Spanny, you want to tell us a little bit about what your cause is and what you got going on?
Well,
Your
most people
expertise.
that know me know know the channel, know what I'm doing. I'm more the ones that wait for the TPRs and then I go after their throat there.
What's your success rate, Spanny? Tell them
I have
all.
212 kids home in 4 years.
Hell yeah,
Nice.
that's it right there. That's very
That's amazing.
very.
Yeah. And don't mind me, I'm going to smoke.
No, I've come to learn with Tiff that that's just part of it. You know what? It's like reminds me of like the old
Yep, that's just
cop
part of the
movies.
show.
In the old cop movies, like they're all smoking everywhere they go. This is what CPS does to you.
Yeah,
Makes you have to smoke. Spanny, what's your
yeah. I say, hey, at least if I'm just smoking, that's not nearly as bad as other things.
right? Correct. What's your number one thing that you would say that you could tell the parents that if they didn't know about if someone that doesn't know anything about CPS, what do you think the number one thing that they should know is?
Immediately go to. You guys immediately need to go find the federal laws on CPS and use it against them.
Is there a place that people can
It's
go
on
and
Wicked
find them?
Warriors.
Is it?
I have a link on
Cool.
Wicked Warriors.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna pull your site up. Hold on a
I
second.
have a chat room. Yep. And I have a chat room that's with that, and it should be pinned over there too. But if you go under, I believe it's under featured stuff, I have all sorts of stuff posted underneath that people can use to fight CPS.
So you're very knowledgeable about that.
Like the organizer.
Yeah,
The organizer
I've been doing this for I've been doing this for 4 years, and I know that voice. I'm
She's
just
not a
trying to figure out who it
secretary
is still.
That was my voice.
No, you talking about Carrie?
Yeah, that was your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was just like,
Yeah.
I swear I know this voice. I've talked to her before because even the Colton sounded right.
What is? How do I
And
find
for those of you that don't know about snow,
Yeah, you can keep that up there.
it is officially snowed.
Yeah, you can keep it right there at
Fuck
your
the
place.
heck, there we go.
I have a living room full of fake snow tonight.
Oh, and one of the Huskies.
Oh,
Say hi, Luna.
You raise dogs, don't you? Or you have dogs?
I'm at my friend's because I live off grid. They didn't want me sitting over there trying to heal from surgery. So
Right.
my other half is back there with the dogs. But I have 5 dogs. I take in mostly the ones that are on their last chance that have behavior issues.
So you have an array.
Bless your heart.
All right, here we go. I got you right here.
So you rescue them is what you do.
Where is
I pretty much rescue them. I'm not really a rescue as per se, but I take on the hard cases, yes. But I only do it for a little while. I take the bigger dogs because they're the harder ones to place anyway. You know. Like
Spanny,
currently
do you
we
guys just have
have
your Facebook page?
there's a Facebook group, a private Facebook group, and then there's a Facebook page.
All right, is that where the information
Go to her,
is?
if you go to her channel, you go to the community page. Is that right, Spanny?
If you go over to Wicked Warriors, yeah, it should pop up 2 different pages.
Okay.
But
Secretary's
it's not.
office.
Yeah, it's it's the private group, not the page itself. I've been kind of struggling trying to keep that stuff going, but
Yeah, here's the Wicked Warriors
between that,
page. So it's here, then we go to community.
oh no,
Wicked
you're on the
Warriors.
YouTube one, it's not Facebook.
Oh yes, Facebook. Oh yeah, well she.
My bad, Darren.
Well, oh yeah, so Spanny. That's Carrie. The voice that you hear is Carrie. She's also your new under or not to be spoken as secretary, but
that is not my
Hey guys.
she doesn't like it.
Hey guys. Hey guys, can you hear me?
Man.
Can you hear me? Yeah, guess what? I just got kicked. No, listen, I just got kicked out of the store.
I just got kicked out.
Did you pull your badge out?
This is no. It's my neighborhood. I don't want to do all that. But they kicked me out of the store because they said, you can't be talking to the customers. You can't put the customers on media. Because apparently people must have went to the management and complained about me. But I thought it was funny. And then when I spoke to the manager, and I said to the manager lady, have you ever heard of CPS or about CPS? She says, I heard something about it. I don't know what it's all about. I said, well, when it happens to you, you'll know what it's about. I said, when they come after your children, then you're going to remember me.
That's right.
That's what I
Damn
told
right.
the manager.
That's people don't
Yeah.
people don't pay
I said,
attention, man.
I said, when they come after your children, then you'll know what CPS means.
Yeah.
So I just
That's it.
turned my mic back on. I turned my mic back on, and I just walked out of the store. I'm here in the parking lot now. But I did have a nice conversation with some people, but nobody knows anything. They're like oblivious. They're just oblivious.
So Herbert, we're talking to Spanny. She's with us tonight. And this is their Wicked Warriors Facebook page right here, which has a ton of oh wow. So
Yes, that one was right.
So right in here is where are we going to, Spanny? You want to go to get your information that you're talking about?
If you click the stuff that's pinned to the page, it should bring you up to where there's a whole bunch of you can get everything on CPS or like the laws. Yes, I believe so.
I'll mute my mic.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
All right. So
we're all in agreement with that.
Yes, Herbert. All right. Whoops. I don't know what I just did there, but there we go. Back here. Let's see. Oh, like your page, under more? No? Yes?
It should be right there underneath the featured stuff.
Right in here, right?
Yeah, let me
or
get
is
up my
this your
laptop.
private
Hold on.
page? This is your private page, isn't it?
It should be under the private Facebook group. Yeah.
That's this one, right?
Here, I'm turning on my computer. Yeah, it should
let's see
be.
here.
Right? Come on.
I made the cut. I was so upset that day that I thought that you had, but you were like, no, Darren, you made the cut.
Uh-huh.
Crispini, what is it that you don't tolerate? What is it that you don't tolerate about people? What grinds your gears about people that either impersonate Facebook or what makes you, what's your biggest turnoff for people that pretend that they're CPS fighters or advocates or whatever?
I really hate ones that charge a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do it. Like there's some that charge over $175 just to talk to them for an hour.
That's insane. Like any of us can afford that.
And I don't think that's right. Yeah. Right? And some people I've known got charged over $4,000 and $5,000 for somebody that was supposedly an advocate trying to help them, which they didn't help.
Wow. That's crazy. And they didn't even do anything for them, right?
Yep.
Well, yeah, they did one thing. They took their money.
Yeah, they did that. Made them broke. So anyway, guys, somewhere on here is supposed to be there. Hey, Spanny, let me ask you this, because we've been talking about this lately. So if they switched you to from reunification to termination, right? They switch you from that.
Yeah.
And now that means at that point that CPS no longer should be getting federal funds from Title IV or CAPTA or any of that stuff, right? Like you should be done with that, right? According to how the funding works.
So legally, they have 24 months to get you your kid home. So that's 2 years. Now, I've heard it drawn out up to like one of my clients. It was like 5.5 years. It was crazy.
Wow.
That's a kinship federal laws. One more.
Darren, click on the word more.
More.
And close that little menu you got popped up there. It's covering where you want to be.
Which one are you talking about here?
Like right there in the middle of the page at the top, where you clicked more to scroll through that menu.
All right. Do I got to go back up?
Yep.
Are
just a
you
little
under
bit.
Fight CPS or under your name this time?
No, the name's not me anymore. I was hacked. So Fight CPS is what I'm under right now.
Okay,
All right,
I
so
just literally tagged you in it.
okay.
It's
That
gonna
should be
say that.
okay. Cool.
It'll be a PDF file that just says capta.pdf.
Oh, about the things that are going on.
That's all the federal laws that they're supposed to be abiding by.
Oh, okay. I
All
see.
in one
So
document.
if you really want to piss them off, yep. So if you really want to piss them off, you go read all that stuff and you take it to court with you.
Every time.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Jesus. There you go. Spanny just commented me. All right.
Is it-
Perfect.
Uh-huh.
This
And
is
then there's one that is called kinship federal CAPTA laws. Same thing. CPS is supposed to abide by them in a kinship care, which is maybe your mother has the kids or your sister or your uncle, whatever.
Hear that, South Carolina?
And some people can hear that, South Carolina.
Yeah. I was talking to our friends there, William and Panda.
Darren, when you look at that, is there a way that you can get that for me so I can use that?
Of course there is.
Yeah. And if you guys want to join the group, you can jump on. I'll accept you guys. So
What is it? Wicked Warriors?
Wicked Warriors
Yeah, right here.
Families. That's on Facebook.
That's where we were going wrong because we were on the Wicked Warriors, the old Wicked Warriors one. That's why.
Sorry, that was my
and
fault.
if you listen, if you guys are asking her to join from here, somehow is there a place when they're asking to join that they could put like CPSV on there so that you know that it was from the show? And it's not just if there's a way for you guys to do that, that way she knows that you're not a troll or anything like that.
I look at everybody's profiles first, so
right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
I
It's
just
just
don't.
so they know they got it from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
give you a little bit.
some people think I'm a little too strict with, but I will look at everybody's profiles first.
Right there, Darren?
What's that? Say that again, Vinny.
I don't know if I'm finding the right one. Does it have a picture that says Wicked Warriors and it has things through it?
Well, see the screen.
It should be a green one instead of.
Right.
Should look like that.
Okay, I found it. Yep.
You know what? I'll take the share link and I'll put it in the chat. How about that?
There we go. That works.
That will work.
All right, I just joined.
All right, I will.
You got to get past this. You have to get past the Spanish seal of approval. Oh, sorry about that. You couldn't see it yet. It looks like this. My bad. I didn't realize we were sharing the wrong tab. Sorry about that, Vinny.
Okay, now. Megan, are you the other one? Hey, what are you doing?
So, Spanny, these shows go. So we have them on the CPS Breaking News channel. We have them on your guys' channel. It's on Fight CPS Corruption channel. It's also on my Twitch. It's also on what are the other ones it's on? There's like 3 or 4 different more. Yeah, Facebook it airs on. So all these shows they're on a bunch of platforms and we're adding a couple more this week. So we're really getting. I really wish that there was a way that I could find out for sure combined how much all of this is, like how much we're putting out there, because I don't find that out. You know what I mean? I can only see how much I have through my channels, and then you know what I mean? I wish there was a way that combined we could see all this, because I mean, I'd like to think that we're starting to get out quite a bit to quite a bit of people. I know that, I know that each
both
week
channels
we're
subs have went up.
What's that?
I've been keeping track of that. Both channels subs have went up. Like ours has went up 30 in the last 2 weeks, and I believe Warriors is like 20 or 25, like real close to it.
Yeah,
If I remember right.
that's good. That's real good. That's good for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, that is. Okay, so Lynn, is that the
Yep.
one?
That's my wife.
Okay. All right.
She's right. She's right
You're both
beside me.
approved.
She's right there.
Yeah, this is good. You're both approved.
Sweet. So we got that in there.
I had actually a CPS worker the other day try to join Wicked Warriors. It was kind of amusing.
Were they blatantly? Well,
I
were
had
they
to have
blatantly,
profile.
or were they trying to smooth their way in?
They just like blatantly asked to join, and I'm like, click profile. No, no, you're not going in it.
Awesome.
I'm going to see your mom.
Mandy, did you know I wrote a book?
I don't like my neighbors.
No, I don't want to write a book.
No, did you know that I wrote a book?
Are you? Oh no.
Yes, it's
Actually,
available
no.
on Amazon.
We mentioned it one time. It was one of our late night talks with a bottle.
Oh yeah, well I was just working on it then, but I finally finished it. It's right here. You can get it on Amazon.
Yeah.
And it's right here. Stay calm. CPS is coming. And then I'm working on my new book right now. There's a constitutional one that I'm coming out with. Also, I have to be careful about what I talk about here because there's other CPS people that watch our channel, and they try to jump the gun on us.
I know.
And yeah, all right, good. They make sure that they snag whatever we talk about or whatever we do. So if you guys want to, if you guys can do that, if you guys can go on and go to Amazon. Oh, this is the Amazon.de one. Whoops, sorry.
And Darren would be the first to let you guys know that I don't care about becoming a target. So
no, you do not. Absolutely not.
I will happily piss off your judges and your CPS workers and your lawyers and your guardian ad litems. I will happily do that.
What is it that you're looking for in clients? Like, how do clients get a hold of you? Are you seeking actively right now for more clients?
I'm kind of, like I said, I'm still recovering from a lot of stuff. So I'm slowly in the background doing things still.
Right.
But if it's a serious case, I will take it on. But I mainly focus on the TPRs. So if you guys are still in family court, I'm going to wait for that judge to say, I just took all your kids away fully in your rights. Then I will go after them. And I do it that way because it's easier to go through Supreme Court and get the kids back than it is family court. And it's a mess, but it works.
Right.
All family court is doing is making money. That's all family court is doing. They're just making money off of you.
I just put the.
And usually.
Go ahead, Fanny. Sorry.
And usually the lawyers, I will tell you, you get rid of them right away. People get upset with me about that, but those lawyers aren't for you. Those lawyers are there for family court to make money.
Yep.
They're not on your behalf. They're going to tell you just to sign your rights away as soon as it switches to a TPR. They're going to say, oh, we can appeal it later. And usually the appeals don't work because it's still family court.
Right, and the appeals.
So I use Rule 60.
Hello, Janita.
So I use Rule 60, and Rule 60 is that there has been a fraud within the court system. Now, if you have more than 2 frauds, which I will guarantee every family does that's in the family court, okay, then you can take that, use those errors, and go up to the Supreme Court while still being in family court and not having that termination yet.
What do you mean?
That it's tricky, and I don't do paperwork. With what?
What? Say that again. Like you go.
You use Rule 60.
Yep.
Okay, so Rule 60 is when you have fraud within the court. So that means the lawyers are lying. The guardian ad litem is lying. Of course, CPS is lying, but that's fraud in the court. Then Now you take that fraud in the court, that's going to be in your court record. So you go through and you get all of your court records from the courthouse. Sometimes it can be a hefty price, but usually you're only paying like $5-6 for it. You take that with you and you go up to the Supreme Court and you file Rule 60, which is fraud in the court, along with the appeal, and you can get the kids that way.
And you've had a
Now,
high degree of success with that.
Yes, I've gotten success on that. Sorry, I had a text message. But yes, I get success with that. You will have some advocates that are going to tell you, no, you have to wait for the termination notice. You do not. You look at Rule 60. Rule 60 flat out tells you can go to a higher court.
That's Rule 60. Right. Some of the other reasons on there too, isn't it? Like there's new evidence, there's but are you saying like yours is the fraud on the court is like the sticker that goes with it? Is that the one that's easiest to get by?
Yeah, it's there's certain branches of Rule 60. I think there's like up to D or E, something like that.
Yeah, you're
but if
talking
you
the
read through it,
60B,
you can
right?
find which one works for you.
Right.
Yes.
I think it's the 60B that you're talking about, right?
Yeah. But that Rule 60 will actually get you guys into Supreme Court where you can fight your case better. But you have to fire a lawyer to do it. You cannot take your family court lawyer up to Supreme Court because they're just going to stay with that judge back there and try and take your kids.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean your lawyers that we have here, guys, are just they're here just to make sure that you get TPR properly so that there's nothing left to argue. That's the one thing that people don't realize is that these lawyers that you get appointed by the courts, they don't give you any information. They don't leave anything in your court files or bring anything up in your trial to leave any room for an appeal, because an appeal doesn't mean that you get a new trial. It has nothing to do with that whatsoever. An appeal is the day of your trial, the day of your trial, whatever was brought up that day, or the trial itself was unconstitutional or unruled, like they broke the rules of the trial that day. It has nothing to do with what happened in the past. It has nothing to do with what went on. So if there's nothing to question about what was and what wasn't done, then you have nothing to appeal about. So anything that you bring up, you need to make sure one way or the other that they get that into your TPR case, because it won't matter. Little phone call from Bobby Sue that was a lie from the caseworker. Well, somehow you need to have them bring that up in that court hearing, because you won't be able to use that down the road. It won't matter for your appeal because it wasn't brought up in your trial. So you need to make sure that any information like that you guys need to bring into your appeals way, because things like this, like Spanny's talking about, the Rule 60s is good because it's vague and it allows you to kind of jump around that hoop of not that you're jumping around the appeal, but it's allowing you to use information that if you weren't given it, rightfully in the appeal, that you can use that, because you could use the Rule 60 past all that stuff, correct?
Yes.
Like Rule 60 is good for, even if you use the jurisdiction, Rule 60 is good for quite some time, no? Is it a 2-year thing or is it a...
Rule 60 can be used. It can also, Rule 60, if you do it right, when they're trying to terminate your rights, I've learned that sometimes they try to push an adoption right as they're terminating rights in some states, which is really messed up because you don't even have that document yet that's saying that you've been terminated. They try to push that adoption and get that adoption in right as the termination's filed, so you can't do anything. But if you use Rule 60, it will stop the adoption too, as long as you get it up to Supreme Court.
Oh, wow. So do you have to you fire your lawyer? So step by step then, you fire your lawyer. Now, do you have to request that from the court? that you fired your lawyer? Do you have to file paperwork with the court saying that you want to remove your lawyer?
Yes. But when it goes to them saying, well, do you want a new lawyer? You say, no, I want to go pro se. Now, I have a handbook on the pro se too. So I can give you guys that and Wicked Warriors as well. It'll be a minute.
See, people, hopefully you get through the Spanny seal of approval, because there's a lot of information on their Wicked Warriors site that you'll need to have. So make sure that you.
I'm really not that hard to get along with. Don't lie to me, because I will find out, especially if you're in a couple of my states, because I have more clients there than you want to dream of. West Virginia being one of them. I always say, if you're lying to me, I will find out, especially if you're in West Virginia. I have so many clients in West Virginia. I just mention a name and they're like, oh, I know that person. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, what's funny is I talk to Tiff about. I tell Tiff all the time that she's from West Virginia. And boy, doesn't that burn her skin.
This is one thing that I get people that get mad at me about, but I hold it to fact. If you are a drug user or trying to get off drugs or have used drugs, and no, I'm not talking about marijuana, because I'll tell you, I smoke it almost daily. I will not accept you guys because of the fact that drug users have a lot of help. They have all of it out there. But the normal everyday parent that gets screwed by CPS has nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I do that. Plus, if I took on a bunch of drug users, you know how busy I'd be already? With way of doing already?
Is how many of them do they even that they falsely accuse these parents of being drug users? That's the unfortunate part, you know.
I know, but I usually will have a talk with the person before I choose. So
right. No, I understand what you're saying. That they have resources. They have resources available, and you're kind of doing this out of the kindness of your heart. And there's resources for people that do drugs that they can get help with. You're looking for clients that are in these other places that don't have access to resources to assist them.
Yeah, because like I said,
she's not talking bad about drug users. She's just saying that she just doesn't have room. She's just that she doesn't have room to assist you.
There is a couple of them I have helped, and that was because their case was so difficult that it needed help.
Right. She's not saying anything bad about. Well, not that she's condoning drug use either, but she's just saying that there's access for drug users to get other assistance available. Whereas if you were
they have all sorts of advocates for that.
Right. If you were a DV, or if you were, something else along the lines of losing your kid, a hoarder, or a different type of situation, that you don't have access to all of those advocates and everything. So that's where her helping hand comes in. So don't get all hurt about that comment. It wasn't any sort of a jab at anybody.
And I know other advocates, that would help the drug users. So I just kind of see this person; they'll help you more than I can. But if it's like a really challenging one, I'll probably step in and help them anyway. Just due to the fact that I know a little bit more than some do about that stuff.
Now, what made you get into this stuff, if you don't mind me asking?
CPS came into my life on my daughter's 11th birthday and took my daughter. I did get both of my children back. My son, he is now 19. It happened when he was 13. My daughter is safe where she is, and we'll just leave that one at that, because I'm not going to get into it.
Yep.
So, and that's just simply because I made myself a target for other people's children,
Right.
My daughter's still under 18. I am not going that way. She's happily with one of my friends, and she's doing good. So that both of my children are home, basically. And I do get to see her when I want to. So I just try
Hey,
not to
that's
too much
all that
because
matters.
of the, yeah. And I try not to too much due to the fact that, you know, I am a target. I make more
Right.
enemies than I do friends anymore.
Yep. People don't understand how dangerous what we do is. Like they really don't. When you start putting yourself out here like this, it becomes very
When
serious.
you really piss off the judges,
Yeah.
and your name or even your nickname is mentioned in court and the judge tries to gag you for it.
Right.
Yeah, been there.
Yeah. Then he was gagged.
I have clients that get gagged all the time in West Virginia due to the fact that they mention my name.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Awesome. That's freaking great. That's funny as hell. What's your tie with
I
West
actually got
Virginia?
threatened by one of the CPS works. I I actually have a CPS worker there in West Virginia that tried to threaten me too.
Really?
So, uh-huh. I went, I'm not setting a foot in West Virginia. I have like a judge that wants me dead and, you know, a CPS worker that wants me dead. So we're not going there.
Wow. Do they blatantly threaten you?
Well, the judge hasn't done it to me itself, but it has got back to me on what he says in court about me.
Wow.
I just kind of giggle at it. I'm just like, you know, if you were following the law, you wouldn't be pissed off at me now.
Yeah. If I wasn't exposing some sort of truth, you wouldn't be angry.
Exactly.
And they hate when you expose their corruption.
Yeah, well, if anybody has seen my earlier lives, you'd actually hear a lot about Judge Schaefer in West Virginia.
Okay, not
He's the
Nancy.
one.
Okay. So watch out for Judge.
Yeah,
Judge.
he's Judge Stephen L. Schaefer.
Not your friend. Not your friend.
All right.
So.
No, he takes. There's over 6,000 kids just in the state of West Virginia that are in foster homes somewhere.
You know, there was an advertisement on tonight, my mom said on Fox News, that they actually came up and and I'm sorry, it wasn't an advertisement. It was a segment that came up on Fox News tonight that said they were, let me see if I can pull it up. Fox News tonight. Tonight. That they were talking about the amount of kids that were waiting for adoption. Fox News broadcasts. And you know how these kids, I think she said that it was
and most of those actually in West Virginia get shipped out of state too. So they're in foster homes that they don't even know the people and they don't even know the state.
God dang.
And they go after the bigger families, you know, the kids that, or the parents that have 6, 7 kids, sometimes 4 kids, stuff like that. That's the ones they go after mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Or kids with special needs and disabilities.
Right. Well, they don't want damaged goods. They don't want the kids that are.
No, they go after the special
kids that. Right. What I'm saying is they want the special needs and all that because that's medical. They get more money.
Yes.
There's more money. Because, see, there's a lot of people here that will argue with us that we talk about the incentivizing of all of this stuff, and they say that there's no such thing. And you're never going to get a caseworker to come out and say that they
all
get
you
more
have to
money
do
for
is
doing this.
read the bill. All you have to do is read the bill that Bill Clinton came out with when Bill Clinton was president. It's all right there.
Yeah. It's $4,000. They get $4,000 to $6,000 depending on
Now, just for that CPS worker that takes that child out of that home, for one child, they get a $600 bonus.
yeah, that's what they get in Maine now. So Maine, they just did this thing. If your child comes from a substance abuse family, the foster family gets more money, and the caseworker gets an additional bonus, and they get that until that child turns 18 years old. If they
And if
adopt them,
they adopt that child out, it's
yep.
if that child's adopted out, it's a $21,000 bonus for the CPS itself.
Now, see, but the thing is they put that they hide that in different areas, so it doesn't look directly like they're getting a bonus. They might say that they're a retaining bonus, or something along those lines. They don't ever just be like, oh, they adopted out, And then don't make no mistake, people. Listen, they get the money, most of the money out of here for adopting these kids, but to adopt them, we have to take them. So yes, they're getting paid to take the kids.
Yeah.
That's what it goes to. And they're running out. They don't take. Look, if you go to the projects, I'll guarantee you this. If you go to a project of any city, any whatever, you're not going to find CPS removing children from there. That's not
Okay,
where they
so
go.
let me mention somebody in chat real quick. So
Yep.
Juanita, she is actually, I call her my little house elf. So her story is she was up here on vacation from Kentucky, and there was an issue, and her stepdaughter got mad and called CPS on them, even though the child was happy, safe, and healthy. Well, CPS took that child saying she was homeless, and she wasn't homeless. She was up here just camping like a normal tourist would, and they removed the kid. But at the
From up
time
there?
that CPS showed up, she was actually staying, no, from Alaska, yeah. So her other child happens to be back in Kentucky with grandma, and he doesn't get to see mom because mom's trapped up here by CPS up here.
Wow.
So she actually is living with me because CPS stranded her.
Right. She's not going to leave her child up there in Alaska.
Yeah. And she's on disability, so trying to get an apartment up here was like, you don't. So she does live with me. Her husband does have a good court-appointed attorney for once. I've actually talked to him a lot, so I know who it is.
Yeah, like
But
me,
I'm probably going to have to help him with it.
I have a good appointed attorney.
Yeah, Vinny's attorney actually watches our show.
But yes, I do call Nita my little house elf. So
I'll probably have to get off this before long, though, because I'm getting a migraine. And you passed your migraine on, Darren.
I'm sorry, Vinny. I'm sorry, but thank you for covering for me too. I really appreciate that.
Not a problem.
Let's see here. I'm just trying to look for this.
sorry, I just found the chat button, so I was looking at it.
No worries. I never realized how much Fox News talks about adopting kids.
Yeah, I'm so glad Trump got actually in office again.
Yep.
He was actually helping a lot. Trump was helping a lot with the CPS issues before the Alzheimer's crew took over.
Oh, dear. Check this out, guys. Let me put this up here.
Nita, I don't think we're going to be able to get Chris to do that.
Not playing, Darren.
Not playing?
Yeah, you didn't turn the camera thing on.
How's that?
So, Darren, so is Tiffany's on Sunday or?
So Tiffany's show is on Sundays through Thursday, and we start that one at 7:00.
Okay.
That's when we're on there, and I hear you're going to be joining us on that one. You'll be squeezing in with us there, huh?
So that's either 2 or 3 p.m. my time. I'll have to look it up.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, well, you've been with Tiffany for how long? Have you and Tiff been together?
3.5 years.
3.5 years. You guys have had many. What's your best you and Tiff story?
I don't know. We have a lot of lives that we just goof off on.
Right. But if you have your one story that you think of when people say Tiffany and you, what's your number one story that you tell?
Tiffany and I, we do really good working together when it comes to like the newborns in the hospital that they try to take. Usually I jump on the phone with them and we both go at it. Or I'll just send her off to it because she's really good with the hospital stuff.
Are you just a smart ass?
No,
on there?
she's
Is that how you come across? I don't see you as a yeller.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you pretty much just beat him.
Yeah, I'm just a smart ass.
Word. I don't see you as
She's
like an
the yellow one.
screaming.
You know,
All right, guys, I'm
a
gonna
few of
jump
my
off
clients,
and-
okay.
Jared, I'm gonna jump
You
off.
have a good night.
Okay,
This
Vinny.
migraine's not getting any better.
All right, Vinny. We'll see you tomorrow night, buddy.
Yeah, I'd definitely be here about 7:30, 8 o'clock, I said. So.
Well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do last words right now, and then Spanny, maybe if you're up for it, maybe you and Carrie can talk about this after the talk about a couple things after the show. Are you down with that?
Okay.
All right. So let's do last thoughts then. Carrie, let's start with you.
My thoughts are: don't ever quit, don't ever stop, fight, and just like my situation, even the littlest thing, fight it. If it's not true, it's false. Fight it.
All right. Hell yeah, Herbert. Last words, buddy.
We can't hear you, Herbert.
You're muted.
Take off mute.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
He's got to.
You got to push the mic button. He's just waving by.
Hold on, Herbert.
You should be here now, Herbert. Try again.
You can hear me now, right?
There you go.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have me muted. So I just want to say that do everything you can to avoid being a target of CPS. Avoid being on their radar. Because once you're on their radar, you can't get off. And the other thing is, Vinny, I'm sorry. Tomorrow, I may not be able to be on your show. I have some obligations. So I may not. I may show up, but I may not. Okay, Vinny?
All right. Sounds good, Herbert.
Okay.
All right. Spanny, how about last words for you?
Me?
No, Spanny.
Oh, Spanny.
If you guys have any questions, you can find me on Facebook Messenger pretty easily. Just look up Spanny Brat. And you guys have a good night. Just remember, do not answer the door. CPS comes through the door. Don't answer the calls.
I love that. I love
Stop. Let them in.
it. Do not let them in.
That's
Spanny,
it.
that window behind you is that window, that blind behind you moving?
Just at the window.
Hey,
okay, it was just like, man, that just scared the hell out of me.
Darren,
Yes, sir.
one other thing I want to say. If you see this show up at your door, we have to have a warrant to come in.
That's right, you do.
You see?
No matter if you got a badge or not.
Here you go. I'll show you my shield. We got to have that. We have to have a warrant to come into your home. So just because you see that, don't be afraid.
That's right. You're just a person just like the rest.
You got it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your service, Herbert. Vinny, last words, buddy.
Keep fighting, never give up, and always protect your appeal, because that's what you want.
Hell yeah, that's it. And Ryan's gonna be. Don't forget tomorrow night. Vinny's show's on. What time you starting tomorrow night, Vinny?
7:30, 8 o'clock.
7:30, 8 o'clock, and then the Tiff and Punisher show will be back on Sunday. But for now, I'm the CPS Punisher, and we are all out of here.
I had a date with the devil, then I changed the schedule. Earned several medals by slanging that heavy metal. Turquoise and a feather, speaking to the spirits. Baby, tell me you can hear it. I die for what I hold dearest. Hope it never has to come to that. Promise I'm never gonna run from that. Step my ground like a man, draw the line in the sand. Yeah, family over everything, regardless how it land. I'll be damned if my soul damn. And me and karma gotta hold hands. I'll go to war any minute, I'll be fighting for my children, so the enemy got no chance. I'm a warrior for what's right, even though I did some wrong things. I wanted to get on for my offsprings, tried to do it big so my kids could enjoy all of the small things. They say the good die young, I'm still breathing. I'm the son of the righteous, but my father was a heathen. When I go with him, I'm leaving. A story worth reading, or a bunch of tales that probably drive my children off the deep end. Said it could die young, I'm still breathing. I may have ran with some demons, but I've never been a heathen. I believed all along, writing my wrongs in my songs. I put family over everything till everything was gone. Yeah, I know I've been a bad guy, but I always had a good heart. Played the part of a villain, been a hero for my children. When I'm no longer living, just remember all the good parts. I know I've been a bad guy, but I always had a good heart. Played the part of a villain, been a hero for my children. When I'm no longer living, just remember all the good parts. I had a talk with the angels, told me I'm in danger. Look at my reflection, see the image of a stranger. Been a long ride, what will I do with the remainder? Good die young, so my species are endangered. In the jungle with my guns out. Been through the storm, but the sun's out. I see the clouds coming, I'm not running from the flood, cause it's time the enemy is gonna get flushed out. I'm on the pirate ship with all my gold. It can sink, the story still be told. This is the tale of the hopeless, I'm the poet of the broken, never true words spoken from the soul.
You good, bro? Yeah. You look like you just buried a body.
You could say that. They say the good die young, I'm still breathing. I'm the son of the righteous, but my father was a heathen. When I go with him, I'm leaving. A story worth reading, or a bunch of tales that probably drive my children off the deep end. Said it could die young, I'm still breathing. I may have ran with some demons, but I've never been a heathen. I believed all along, writing my wrongs in my songs. I put family over everything till everything was gone. Yeah, I know I've been a bad guy, but I always had a good heart. Played the part of a villain, been a hero for my children. When I'm no longer living, just remember all the good parts. I know I've been a bad guy, but I always had a good heart. Played the part of a villain, been a hero for my children. When I'm no longer living, just remember all the good parts.